Hello and welcome to Bags of Action. My name is Pete and this is a 5-minute Bags of Action review of The Crew from 2015. Work-life balance breaks down for Paris's most gifted armed robbers when a grave mistake forces them to work for a crime boss in a high-stakes heist. This French action movie also goes by its original title of Braqueurs. It was directed by Julien Leclerc, who also directed Luca, which is also known as The Bouncer, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, and also The Assault. And he's currently working on a TV series based on this very movie, and a biopic of the racing driver Alain Prost. He co-wrote The Crew with Simon Moutaray, who also wrote The Assault and Burnout as well. Hopefully I'm getting these French names correct. So the two main people in the cast are Sami Bouajila, who was also in The Bouncer, and was in The Siege with Bruce Willis and Denzel Washington too in his one kind of Hollywood outing. And alongside him there's Guillaume Gouix, who was in the War of the Worlds TV series, the recent one on Fox, and was also in the film called 22 Bullets with Jean Reno. So I'm definitely enjoying foreign language movies lately, even if I can't pronounce the cast very well. Because it kind of removes any expectation regarding what kind of character each person might be playing, so some of the twists and turns are a little bit less obvious than a Hollywood movie. Now, I chose this movie as I really liked The Bouncer, also known as Luca, that I mentioned before, which was by the same director. That starred Jean-Claude Van Damme, as I said, and was quite different from anything he'd done before. It was really well shot and really gritty. It was a real departure. So that made me want to go and look at the rest of the director Julien Leclerc's kind of back catalogue. Now, this film was made a few years before that one, and the directorial decisions here are along similar lines. There's lots of handheld camera movements, some close to the subject, almost documentary, almost real life vibe as well, which is a real departure from the widescreen action of your modern action blockbuster from Hollywood. The action in this film is really well put together, with some exciting shootouts and chases and some really well shown heists. And the plot is a little bit unconventional. It doesn't follow the obvious path that it feels like it's building up to. And it almost feels like a true story or piece of reportage by not leaning into the Hollywood way to tell a story. I guess you could describe it as a more realistic take on, say, Den of Thieves. The characterisation was a little weak to me though, and in some ways that's what held this film back. There are moments here that should really pack an emotional punch as well as a visceral one, but they somehow fall just a little bit flat. Maybe it's because each of the main players is a little bit too one-dimensional. You don't really get to know the characters well enough. And that's the one thing I think that makes this not quite as good as The Bouncer really. But I will continue to follow Leclerc as a director because I like his visual approach a lot, and I'm very interested in there being a TV version of this and also some of the other films he's got in the pipeline. So, all that considered, you may not have heard of The Crew. Say it's a French language movie which is on Netflix. I'm going to give The Crew, mainly because we don't do half bags, I'm going to give it 3 bags of action out of 5. Now, The Crew is only 1 hour, 22 minutes long, so if you've got under an hour and a half to spare, it's well worth putting on. But have you already seen The Crew? If you have, do you agree with my assessment of it? Feel free to comment below or get in touch with us via email, Facebook, or on Twitter. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to get weekly notifications, because we have new episodes coming out all the time, including our full-length podcast. Bags of Action will always be free, but if you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do that at our Ko-fi page.